Well, 3 metro school districts say they're standing with Edmond Public Schools' decision to file a petition with the Oklahoma State Supreme Court after the State Department of Education ordered 2 library books to be removed from school shelves.
Deer Creek, Mid-Dell, and Oklahoma City Public Schools have all come out pushing for local control, saying school districts have policies in place and the state board needs to let them operate. Joining us live in studio this morning is State Superintendent Ryan Walters. Superintendent, thank you for coming in. We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for having me this morning. I
Absolutely.
appreciate it very much.
Yeah, we have checked with Edmond Public Schools, and they tell us no parents have filed complaints with the district about these 2 books. You are always pushing for parents' involvement. Yeah. Can you explain why you feel the need to step in over local control?
Sure. You know, there's a lot of lies that the Edmond superintendent has been pushing out. For one, we have been investigating parents' complaints for months in this district. When we got the complaints, there were about 2 specific books. We reached out to the district. We said, look, we've had a committee look over these books, and we see 2 recommendations here. Number one, this type of material that's very sexual should only be made available to a certain age group, so high school kids, and it should not be required of them. The school agreed with us, said that's actually what our committee said as well. We said, okay, well, show us that you're not making it available, because we have evidence that you've made it available to kids as young as 10 years old. Next thing we hear from the district is they're suing us to eliminate the entire rule. So the district was for it before they were against it. So what you see here are districts that want no accountability. They want to go back to a time when pornography was on the shelves in our schools. They want books like Gender, Queer, and Flamer made available to kids of all ages, and we're not going to stand for it. We have to have accountability. We heard this throughout my election. Parents are tired of filth on their schools' shelves, and so we're going to continue to fight for those parents and make sure that we're focused on academics.
So you think there actually was a time when pornography was available in school? Did you see that in your school?
I didn't see it in my school. I've seen it in schools all over the state. So we highlighted some of the districts across the state that were putting books like these on their shelves. Again, Gender, Queer, and Flamer are 2 of the worst offenders of this, these graphic novels that depicted graphic sex acts that, again, I had a board meeting, showed the novels and asked the media to show them on TV, and the media said, well, we can't. I mean, this is beyond the pale, which I agree with, it is. But that's the whole point, is these were in schools across the state of Oklahoma. We have some terrible books that are still on the shelves in the state of Oklahoma that our committee reviews. We coordinate and talk to the school districts about why we have these findings, but we have parents that complain to us every day about these books.
Do you think the issue is that parents might be complaining to you, but they're not filing the formal complaint with the district? Because the district says no parents have filed a complaint.
Yeah, well, you know, I find that hard to believe, because all of these parents have said that they went to the district.
Okay.
But you look at a situation like this, when we reach out to a district and say, so these are sexually explicit materials, why are they being made available to kids younger? And when they say, we agree with you, and we say, okay, great, well, can you show us that you're not making them available? Why do they turn around and sue to eliminate the entire rule that protects our kids? But they're fighting accountability.
I want to ask you about that rule. Just reading my understanding, sure. The Attorney General has kind of said that the way the State Department of Education is going about this is unconstitutional, and that if there needs to be this type of rule, lawmakers should pass a bill, and then you could enforce that. Does Edmond kind of have a point on the legalities of this challenge?
No, they don't have a point. We have state law, which gives us the ability to make rules around specific instances like this. We have never had this challenged.
Well, the AG disagrees with you on that,
well,
right?
he hasn't. He has not challenged any of our specific rules. He has not done that. So he has a general statement that's out there about rulemaking. This has never been challenged. So there's no Attorney General opinion on this. We're going to go to the courts on this, apparently, because, by the way, Edmond Public Schools has a track record for fighting against parents. They've already been taken to court over mask mandates, over quarantine policies. They allowed a boy to go into the girls' bathroom and assault 2 students in their district. So they have a terrible track record under this superintendent. All those instances in the last 2 years. This is a district that has fought accountability and fought against parents' rights, and they're leading the charge yet again to fight against what parents want, which parents want their kids to have a good education. They want to know that these type of books aren't on the shelves, and they want to know that things are age appropriate. It was a very common sense, very direct ask here that we've been working with the district on for weeks, but they've decided to fight accountability in every measure.
What is your message to parents this morning watching this conversation and kind of watching this issue play out over the last couple of days?
Sure. You know, my message to parents is, I'm never going to back down fighting for you and your kids. And stay involved with your kids. We're listening here. When a parent reaches out to our agency, we respond. When they say we're concerned about what's going on with our kids' education, we respond. And we do have some rogue districts that do not respond, that think they know better than parents. Edmond Public Schools is clearly a district like that, and we're not going to sit here and allow parents to be mistreated and allow kids to be put in situations that are inappropriate. So parents, continue to fight for your kids' education. We're going to always fight for you. I'm not going to back down on any of these issues. And again, reach out to us anytime there is an issue that districts aren't responding to, and we're going to continue to look into that because there's nothing more important than our kids.
I want to ask you, too, this conversation happens at a time when Oklahoma is in the spotlight right now about education after an Owasso student who identifies as non-binary died following an altercation at school. I want to ask you this morning, what is your message to students who identify as LGBTQ in Oklahoma classrooms right now that maybe feel uncertain about the way things are going?
Sure. Well, what I would say is, what we've done in the State Department and what we've done as a state is do all that we can to protect every student, make sure that every student has the ability to learn and be successful. And so, I believe every student is created in God's own image. They're all precious individuals, and we need to be treating them that way. And again, what we're going to continue to do in education is we're not going to allow left-wing indoctrination in the classroom. We're not going to allow any kind of gender ideology being pushed on kids. We're going to make sure every kid can be successful. And that's every kid of every background. We want you to be able to get a job. We want you to be a great citizen. And that's going to be our focus, and we're going to continue to fight for every Oklahoma student.
Superintendent, we're out of time. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much,
Thanks
guys.
for coming in
Appreciate it.
live. Absolutely.